This program airs statewide on California Public Television and is a California's Gold classic. This series is endorsed by the California Teachers Association, the California School Boards Association, and the California Library Association. Hi everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and here we are on an absolutely spectacular sunny summer afternoon on Lake Shasta up here in Northern California. That's snow-covered Mount Shasta right over there. Now, Lake Shasta holds the distinction of being the largest man-made lake in the entire state of California. It's also known as the houseboat capital of the world because on any given day during the summer months, there are over 400 houseboats out on this lake, along with jet skis and ski boats and all kinds of people out here fishing. This is a great place for recreation. But as wonderful as this lake is, we're not here to do a story about the lake. We're here to visit something that is connected to the lake. It's very close to where we are right here. I can see it right over there. And if you're curious about where we're going, it's a local landmark and it holds all kinds of records itself. If you're curious as to where we're going, all you have to do is come ashore with us as we continue our search together for California's gold.
1, 2, 3!
It was a huge construction project, one of the biggest in the country. From 1938 to 1945, over 6,000 men and women worked on it round the clock. In fact, they never stopped pouring the concrete, 15 million tons of it. Everything about this project was bigger than life. When they finished, they had built something that's still in the record books. Shasta Dam was then and is today a true success story, an engineering and a human marvel. Well, I've hooked up with Sherry Harrell, who is connected with the dam. And Sherry, I got to tell you, right off the bat, my first impression is that this dam is big, it's massive, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and a lot of the public doesn't really realize how beautiful that this dam is until they get here, and then they're just in awe because of the mass and the beauty that surrounds it. There's a lot of other dams that may be bigger or higher, but as far as the beauty that surrounds this dam, the lake, the dam itself, all of it is pretty much, people are pretty amazed when they see this beauty.
Well, I'm amazed.
Yeah. So
look right over here. Here's the lake where we were out on the houseboat. There's Mount Shasta off in the distance.
yeah.
It's fairly early in the morning. The sun has this kind of an interesting glow on the water, and look at the way it bounces off the dam itself right down here. There's a lot of concrete here. Tell us about the concrete.
The concrete that we're standing on right here, there's 6.5 million cubic yards of concrete. So what does that mean? Well, that means the concrete that we're standing on, there's enough just in this dam alone to build a sidewalk 3 feet wide, like the sidewalk we're standing on, 4 inches thick, and it reached completely around the world at the equator. There's 15 million tons of concrete in this dam.
Okay, I can tell right off you've got your figures.
Yeah,
we're going to hear a lot of that today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Tell us some more about this thing. Amaze us with some more facts and figures.
It's 602 feet high and 883 feet thick. So if you think about it, it's almost 300 feet wider than it is tall. And when we get to the bottom and you look up at it, that's pretty amazing. It's 2/3 of a mile across. And like I said, it's got 15.5 or 6.5 million cubic yards of concrete.
Now, how does it compare to other dams in this country?
As far as mass, and that's how they rate dams, we are number 2. only to Grand Coulee in the state of Washington. They have like 11.5 million cubic yards of concrete. We have 6.5 million.
So this dam is bigger than Hoover Dam?
Twice the size of Hoover Dam as far as concrete mass.
Wait a minute.
Twice.
Because when I think most of us, when we think of Hoover Dam,
Right.
think of this huge dam, and this one is twice as big?
Twice as much concrete. Hoover is an arch dam, so it's embedded in the sides of that big, huge canyon, and it's actually 126 feet higher than this dam. Now this is what they call a curved gravity type dam, which means it has a huge base and it has a curve to it, and it's the sheer mass that holds this dam in place.
And look how high up we are. Now, this river down here,
Sacramento River.
tell us about the river.
Now the Sacramento River starts up above, and as we release the water through the dam itself, either through the power plant or down the spillway, it does go into the Sacramento River.
So that's the Sacramento River down there?
Yes. Travels 9 miles downstream where we have another dam which is called Keswick Dam. That's where our main control center is. Everything from our project kind of isolates to Keswick, and then what we release from Keswick Dam is the water amount that we release down the Sacramento River.
I got you. Now this is the
Spillway.
spillway, and it looks kind of slow today.
Yeah, well, it's pretty deceiving. It's a 39-degree slope, and it's actually 487 feet high and 375 feet across.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not much water coming down this morning.
Well, it doesn't look like much, and actually that's just seepage from underneath the drum gates.
What do you mean seepage?
Well,
You mean the dam is leaking?
well, we like to call it seepage, but yeah, and the dam seeps all over, and it's made to do that, and we have certain things that we do to channel the water out of the dam, which collects in the dam. So seepage is part of the dam structure.
Now, you told me that we should have been here
On
a
June
couple of weeks
18th
ago.
Yes, on June 18th we did something that doesn't happen very often. Because of El Nino, we had a very, very full lake, and we had hit our historical high for rainfall. We had almost 118 inches of rain. That's incredible. We filled this lake up 3 times with water, and we dumped it. And on June 18th, because of the large inflows, we had a lot of debris and stuff that floats up to the face of the dam. So we had a perfect opportunity to, one, clean up the debris, and also show the public a spectacular site that doesn't happen very often, and the last time was in 1983, so 15 years ago. So on June 18th from noon until 4, what we did is on the top of the drum gates there's a 2-foot flashboard, and the lake was less than a foot from the top, and we lifted up those flashboards and released water over the very top of the spillway. And when we do that, it actually makes the largest man-made waterfall in the entire world. The water cascades down 3 times the height of Niagara Falls.
Oh my
We had
gosh.
10,000 people come out here to see this site. It was spectacular.
So all of this would have been, this right down here is where it would have just been pouring out.
It looked like snow cascading down this huge spillway. Yes,
Oh
it was
my
absolutely
gosh.
beautiful. And the locals and the media, and it was a beautiful day. We had just thousands of people out here enjoying the day, the dam, the lake, just everything. It was really neat.
Good morning. What y'all looking at over here?
Just looking at the water going down here.
Yeah, is this your first trip to the dam?
Yes, it is.
And what do you think about it? What are your first impressions?
It's huge.
It makes my knees shake a little bit, looking over the edge.
He does. He's very nervous with heights.
Oh, he doesn't like heights. This
I
is
love
the wrong
heights.
place for you. But you like this.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful, and it's very. I think it's very powerful. But,
Yeah.
you know, I want him to open up the dam so we
Well.
can just say, I do. I want the power.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
This is the tour,
This is the
the
tour.
50-cent tour
No.
of the dam built
built by-
by and for the people of the United States.
You got it. And it's free. Best damn tour in the United States. We guarantee it.
Now, what do people come here for to start with? Why do they come to the dam to start with?
Well, it's the biggest attraction in Northern California, according to our local newspaper, so I suppose that might be one reason. It's off the beaten path a little bit, but those people who find it seem to really enjoy it. Oftentimes we find people come back and they'll bring their friends, their relatives, their neighbors. We've had people on this tour half a dozen times.
Really?
Every time somebody new comes in town, they bring them over to take the tour.
And what do they comment on the most?
The beauty. This is one of the most beautiful dams in the world. And the tour is free, and we guarantee it or double your money back.
Oh gosh. So we have to put up with this kind of stuff through the tour.
Well, we try. We try to punch it up a little bit and make it entertaining as well as informative for people.
Well, let's go inside, because this is where it all... Oh boy, look, we've got a whole bunch of people in here. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing this
You
morning?
ready for the tour?
Oh, yeah.
Now, why are you all here?
Just curious.
We're spending the weekend on the lake here, so we thought we'd come look at the dam. It's
So you
gorgeous.
saw the dam from your houseboat over here and decided to come see what this thing was all about.
Right.
Well, the price is right. It's free.
That's for sure.
And now we're getting ready to get inside the dam, right,
Yes,
Sherry?
we're going to take a 4 to 3 story ride down to the 12th level. We'll be actually inside the bowels, in the heart of the dam itself.
You're scaring me.
No, it's very safe.
Okay, here we go. Is everybody ready? Y'all didn't have any idea you were going to be on TV today, did you? Okay, we're ready. Now, give us the facts. What's happening now?
Well, we are in one of the largest elevators in the state of California. We will be descending 428 feet. Okay, that's 43 stories in about 55 seconds. It's a lot quicker than the stairs.
Yeah, a lot quicker.
A lot quicker.
Now, what do you usually say about now on your tour?
Well, I tell them that these numbers on this board are indicating the galleries, which are tunnels that go from one end of the dam to the other. They're used for visual inspection by our engineers. We have over 2,000 scientific instruments inside. We
Inside the dam?
Inside the dam to monitor every characteristic of this dam 24 hours a day.
Now, is everybody listening to this? Because there's going to be a test afterwards.
Say that.
Well, there are a lot of facts here, aren't there?
Too many to retain, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We have 5.3 miles of galleries in Shasta.
Tunnels.
Tunnels. 15 altogether, and we're going to descend to the 12th. So you'll nowhere near
there
the
go
bottom
your
of the
ears.
And we're here.
Now we're at the bottom of the dam. All right, come on, Sherry. Now, what do we want to do? Oh, look. Can we go in there? Is this?
Yeah.
Let's go in here. This is
what the actual galleries look like. This gallery that we'll be going through was actually built for the tour itself. But as far as the galleries, in actuality, look just like this.
Oh my gosh.
These go all the way to bedrock, side to side, and horizontally. It's about 65 degrees in here year-round. When we constructed the dam, we cured the concrete at that temperature. This houses all the instruments. This is where the seepage is channeled to central points where
This water right down here.
Right. It actually goes through this gutter system, goes throughout the entire tunnel system.
Oh, look, here's our tour group back here. Anybody want to come down here with me? It's cold in here. Come on, let's just walk. Is it all right to bring them down, just a couple? Come on in here. It's nice and cold. Doesn't this feel good?
Very cool in here.
Is it okay to bring them in, Sherry?
Sure.
Wow, this is amazing. Give us a few more facts, Sherry, about what we're seeing here.
The gutter system, like I said, what that does is it channels the seepage to central points where we have huge wells. They actually channel the water, collect it, and then periodically they go through and they measure it, record it. That's really, really important. And then pump the water out through gravity or sump pumps. Then they have all this data that they can go back on and compare. We just had a fairly large earthquake not too long ago, and it constituted our engineers going through all our entire facility and taking readings. And then what they did is they went back to our other data to check to see if there was differences.
Movement.
Because if there
Now,
was...
does this move?
Actually, yes, expands and contracts with the heat and the cold throughout the year, about 1/8 of an inch. So it slightly moves back and forth with the heat and the cold. It's just a property of concrete.
Boy, look at this. It just goes down as far as you can see.
Actually, if we go a little bit further, you'll see one of the sub pumps. Those are the pumps that pump the water out on the face of the dam.
You having fun?
Yeah, you can see your breath in here. It's colder in here. Yeah. It's about 65 degrees and it stays that temperature year round because we cured the concrete at 65 when we constructed the dam.
Now, how many miles of tunnels are down here?
5.3. They go all the way to bedrock. They go horizontally and vertically.
So this whole dam is honeycombed with these little tunnels.
Exactly, and that way we can visually walk through and inspect the dam and make adjustments and yes.
All right,
everything.
now we're at an intersection. No, this is just a pump.
This is just one of the sump pumps that they use to pump the seepage out onto the spillway. So they have these periodically throughout the dam.
Okay, we're out of the tunnel. The tour continues. It's been nice meeting y'all, because we're going to stay behind, right?
Yes.
Nice meeting you.
Have a great tour.
This was from Alaska.
You're from Alaska?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about our dam here in California?
Well, it's pretty big.
Yeah, okay. Now tell us, this is an interesting thing we're looking at right here.
It's very unique. What we call this is our echo gallery because we are actually, this is the width of the dam at this level, at the 12th level.
What do you mean? The dam is this thick?
Yes, it's 543 feet thick at this 12th level. And as the levels below us, it gets thicker, 883 feet thick at the bottom.
Wow.
But the unique thing about this gallery is the way that it's tiled and the way the amount of concrete mass around us, that when you stand at one end and make a noise, clap, whatever, what you do is the echo has nowhere to go, so you hear it come back at the speed of sound. So when Tom gets to the other end, he does a little spill and we'll make him clap. It sounds just like a gunshot. It's the public just loves it.
So we'll be able to hear their echo, and they'll be able to hear our echo.
Right.
All right, where do we stand? About right here?
Yeah, right here.
Hello? 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 Now we've come inside, I guess this is the powerhouse.
Yes, this is where we produce hydroelectric power.
And there they are right out there, these huge turbines, and this is really what the dam is all about, isn't it?
This is one of the three major reasons why we constructed Shasta Dam. Flood control, irrigation, and the number 3 reason is for hydroelectric power.
Now, how much power are we talking about? Because I can kind of feel the power coming toward us right now.
This power plant alone can produce enough to serve the power needs of a city the size of San Francisco.
Really?
So we actually do produce a large amount of electricity. More importantly, it's hydroelectric power, which means we're a peak power plant, and we produce electricity on supply and demand. So during hot days when the electricity need is very high, that's when we come into play, and we're able to serve and meet those high electricity needs.
It's also clean power.
Very clean, very efficient, very quick. We don't produce any pollution. It is a fabulous way to produce electricity.
And are these are huge turbines. Is this about the way it would have looked in here if we had been standing in here in 1945?
Yes, basically these are the original turbines. They've been upgraded, and we are still in the process of doing the upgrading. But generalized, they are what you would have seen 50 years ago. But what makes these interesting is that as we're looking at them, we are only seeing the top 1/4 of the generator. 60 feet below us is the rest of the generator, and where the water comes in and turns the turbine. So we're only seeing just a very small amount of this humongous generator.
So this is the tip of the iceberg, and an iceberg is a bad word to choose because it's hotter than heck in here.
Yeah, it is.
Why is it so hot in here?
Electricity produces heat.
Plain and simple.
All right, let's leave the heat and go back outside.
Okay.
Now we are in for a treat because we have hooked up with a whole bunch of people who actually worked on the dam over 50 years ago. I'm walking with, your name, sir?
Arnold Lindy.
Mr. Lindy and Mr.
Tex Cox.
Mr. Cox. Now, Mr. Lindy, what did you do on the dam when you helped build this thing?
I worked on all phases of this dam, all over. Powerhouse, this wall, that, on ropes on the spillway here, taking the handrails off, the old construction work.
So you did a little bit of everything here.
Yes, I did, all over. I worked here from 1940, March in 1940, till July in 1950.
Now that must have been pretty exciting work.
It was. It was a lot of exciting features to it. It was great. It was great. Thinking back, it was. I'd like to do it over again.
And what did you do, sir?
Well, I started out as a laborer in 1940, March of 1940, and I worked on the first pour they made. I cleaned up the first pour they made in Shasta Dam.
The very first pour of concrete.
Yeah.
The last bucket. I'm right there.
You were right up in the front.
Right.
Was this dangerous work?
No, it was just hard work. That's all I can say about that.
It paid good money.
Yeah, 90 cents an hour I got. I was getting good money then, the best I'd ever had in my life.
What are we talking about over here?
Well, this is me, and I wash dishes right behind this little door.
Wait a minute, wash dishes?
I was the first woman to go to work down here doing a man's job. They had all men waiters, all men cooks, everything was men. Men run the place some days, but now women run it.
So you were the cook here?
No, I wasn't the cook then. I started out washing dishes.
Now, that was during the Depression, so you wanted to work, didn't you?
Listen, I come down and told him that I would scrub the pool hall with a toothbrush if he would give me a job. And he said, "You're desperate, lady," and I said, "You don't know how much."
Did you make good money working here?
Well, I made 40 cents an hour, $3.20 a day. It was a wonderful was was 27 and starting over again.
You feel the same way?
Well, I'd like to do it again.
What did you do here?
I was a boilermaker on those penstocks.
And what did you do here?
I was a carpenter here for 4 years.
So you made the forms?
Set
the forms?
Most of them become all shop made.
And you were?
Cat skinner.
A what?
A cat skinner.
A cat skinner. Oh, the bulldozer operator. So you had to clear all of this out?
Not me alone. There was a lot of them beside me.
He was here, and he was here, and she was here, and her husband ran the grocery store here, and they fed the people from the grocery store. Under one roof, we had a restaurant, a pool hall, a grocery store, a mess hall, a bakery, and a butcher shop, and a post office.
So you had a whole little town here for the workers?
Yeah, we did.
And your husband ran the grocery store?
Yeah, I'm Ella Barbera, and I live behind the dam here in the little house, BCI, and my husband was John Barbera. We ran the grocery store for Pat Unger.
Wow, and you, sir?
I was foreman for 7 men building these galleries that go through the dam.
Oh, the tunnels.
The tunnels. Otherwise, nobody could get through this dam.
And here is the penstock crew.
Here's the guys that installed them.
Where are you?
Right there.
Wow. And there are the penstocks over there. How big are those things?
Well, you can drive a Greyhound bus through them.
Really? So everybody really who's here today, it's kind of a representative group. Everybody here did a little something different on the dam.
That's right.
You haven't heard about the head tower that's buried underneath the lake either.
The head tower?
Head tower, right. My husband was an electrician on the dam, and he ran up and down the elevator on the head tower. And when the job was finished, they cut it off down near the ground. And when we had the drought in '78, they looked down, what's that in the lake? Because they hadn't cut it off far enough.
So the head tower is still out there?
Still in there, yes. Where they cut off, yes. But if we have another drought, you'll see it.
Was it fun for you?
It was fun for me because I was young. They turned their head to child labor laws back then, and I was actually only 15 years old out here working with these men, but I was a man. I was a man.
Well, it'll make a man out of you quick, won't it?
It sure would, and I was proud to be part of it.
Now some of the people are coming and they want to know about it, and the only way they can do now is they don't know none of us, so they have to have books to learn about it. And they do ask questions about it now, the visitors do. And we haven't had 1 million visitors last year. And I don't know how many we've had so far this year, but usually at the end of the year, well, they tell us, you know, that we have.
Well, maybe you should start giving tours. Maybe you should be a tour director.
Well, Jerry wanted me to be one, but I told him, no, I don't think so.
Well, you got all the stories.
I'd have to tell him all about myself, and everybody wants to hear about that.
But you know all the stories.
Well, yeah, you got it there.
And there are a lot of wonderful stories.
Yes, there is. They're just wonderful stories. And everybody that worked here all clung together, and we were all Okies and Arkies, you know. And so it was just wonderful. And I loved it, every bit of it. I loved every bit of it. And I'm glad I lived to be 83 to see this tour and you making the picture. And I thank you for that.
Shasta Dam is a true California landmark, an engineering accomplishment that's still in the record books. But there's more to this dam than just facts and figures and the amount of concrete in it. There's an enduring human story here as well. A story of the hard-working men and women who built it with a great amount of pride. Men and women who, along with the dam, are truly part of California's gold. Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and I sure hope you enjoyed this adventure. If you'd like to see it again or share it with your family or friends, or perhaps donate a copy to your local school or library, it's available on video cassette and on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727 and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.